Namaste. I'm Ezichiade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Today we're discussing a comment that I am focusing on from Masaaki-sama's What's More Important Than Johrei? But the particular comment is regarding the sacred grounds and their status. And he was asking, I believe, that we should create a sacred grounds, perhaps in Africa. In the video, Africa, he asked the Angolans to get involved with that process, and that's fine. My question is, what makes something sacred? What makes a land sacred? What makes a ground? What makes a sacred focal point, a sacred altar? And I think a more important question is Masaaki-sama's opinion sacred? Is his opinion what determines what is or is not sacred? When was he granted this seat, this authority? So if this is something that you also question, Johrei perspectives, principles, practices, Meishu-sama's teachings, make sure you subscribe right now. Ring the all notification bell so you know when new videos are uploaded. Now, Masaaki-sama mentions that the sacred grounds in Atami, Hakone, Kyoto, those are simply beautiful areas of land, properties owned by a corporation, and he does not recognize them as sacred grounds. Nor does he recognize the sacred grounds in Thailand or Brazil or anywhere else. That's fine for him. But as far as I'm concerned, by my understanding of Meishu-sama's teachings, if someone considers a place, an object, a term sacred, if they give it reverence, if they continue to pray there and put their positive energy there, whatever energies, it is sacred to them. If a group of people follow Meishu-sama and build a sacred grounds in Atami, that is sacred. If they do so in Hakone, if they do so in Kyoto, then yes, these are sacred grounds. If you don't agree with the politics of the organization, if you have a disagreement, a falling out, my mentor, Reverend Glenn Kazawa, told me I should stay out of the politics of the organization. And so for that reason alone, I will not comment further on that disparity and the disagreement that has led to this situation. Whatever that is, I don't know. But I do know that if I pray daily at my home altar, that is a sacred altar. If I wear a sacred focal point, it's sacred. I don't believe Masaaki-sama has providence to decide for us or anyone else that which is sacred or not so. I believe that in his human ego and anger and disappointment, or whatever it is, resentment for the organization that ousted Kiyoshu-sama, then that is a personal or legal disagreement. Whereas we, the practitioners of Johrei, the followers of Meishu-sama's teachings, we hold these lands sacred. Our ancestor prayers have been there for many years. We have enshrined ancestors at the Mother Church. I personally now am focused on the enshrinement that I have within my home. And I believe this is a path that we will all need to consider. Instead of reaching outside of ourselves for this guidance, for this solace to say, oh, well, we are now at a place where Meishu-sama has considered this place to be the beginning of paradise on earth. And to hear another of Meishu-sama's descendants say that the land and the struggle, the efforts that Meishu-sama and his followers engaged to build these sacred lands, and because he disagrees, they're not sacred. That's not sacred. Well, who are you to say that? It is with all respect and reverence for Masaaki-sama and his seat, whatever that seat may be. But I would just say that is your opinion, and to cast it out callously and in front of all the members, that speaks more to ego than it does to enlightenment. What is your opinion? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you comment. Hello, Ghostwriter. Ghostwriter, are you familiar with Johrei or the practice of Johrei? Yuki, are you agree with me? So who is Masaaki-sama to tell us that the sacred grounds that Meishu-sama dedicated are not sacred? The sacred grounds that members, you see? Okay, so Ghostwriter, here's what it is. The practice of Johrei began roughly in 1921 with a businessman, a Japanese businessman, Mokichi Okada. As his movement moved further and further into, I guess you would say, a greater organization, we call him Meishu-sama, which means, reverend spiritual leader. But the point here is this: he built sacred grounds, which are like a seed of paradise here on earth. 3 locations, one in Atami, one in Kyoto, one in Hakone, Japan, and there it is so peaceful and beautiful. I myself have never been, but one day I do hope to pilgrimage there. Well, one of Meishu-sama's descendants, Kiyoshu-sama, he was the president of the organization at that time, but for some reason, the corporation ousted him from the organization, and Masaaki-sama, another of Meishu-sama's descendants, has taken up the mantle of defending Kiyoshu-sama. And in his defense of Kiyoshu-sama, he is now denouncing that the sacred grounds that Meishu-sama built and dedicated, are no longer sacred. They are just simple plots of ground, just places where people go to visit. So the question is, first of all, what makes something sacred? And second of all, does Masaaki-sama have providence, have the authority to decide for us. Not only the practitioners of Johrei, but other people whom he may come in contact with. Is he in charge of what is sacred or not sacred? So first, in answering the first question, that which we place our attention, our reverence, our prayers, our hopes, our connection to our higher power, that is sacred. If we do so religiously, like on a daily basis, daily, over and over, it is a religious practice. If others join us in this practice, not only is it sacred, but the power is amplified by the number of individuals who participate. So, the sacred grounds that Meishu-sama built and dedicated, and closely in our Meishu-sama would want us to hold him in our hearts closely. Oh, don't go away. Okay, there we go. Okay. With his teachings and beliefs in times of confusion, he actually expected these things to happen, but yeah. Well, is there a place to land it? Yes. Yes. We have, well, first of all, the founder of our practice, Meishu-sama, built 3 sacred grounds in Japan. Subsequently, there have been more sacred grounds built in Brazil and Thailand, and there's talk of building one in Africa. The thing here is, we who put our attention there, we also send our prayers for our ancestors to be prayed for at the sacred grounds. And because of this rift in the organization, it has, I don't know if they're built on ley lines. However, they are sacred in that we feel that this is a paradise on earth. A little portion of paradise on earth. There is only nature farm, fresh food there. There are people there with sunny, beautiful attitudes. There's all types of artistic expression and wonderful thoughts. And then there's light. Johrei, sessions of light, daily. We do that here and all over the world. So I would say, wherever you are, if you are a practitioner of this faith, of this type of light work, then you are sacred. And the work that you are doing is sacred. So what are they? I get the vibe. Yes, it is a type of affirmation, if you will. It is an affirmation to the people of Earth that here we will do better. Here we will do our best to put resentment and negativity behind us, and that we will do our best to share love and light. We will eat food from the earth that's full of light, and we will enjoy each other's fellowship with peace and love. This is what happens at the sacred grounds. This is the whole intention of creating a space. Oh, well, unfortunately, Ghost Rider, this organization, the reason we are having this conversation is due to a split that just recently happened over the last few years. Over a few years before that, there was another split. If you Google, you'll find organizations like Shumei, Masaaki, MOA, Johrei Fellowship, Miroku, Church of Messiah. You'll find all of these organizations which are all connected by the teachings of Meishu Sama, by the practice of giving Johrei, by the practice of enjoying beauty. And yet we cannot find a common accord. Egos get involved, and then they split up, create a new corporate name, and some followers go to that side, and some followers go to that side. I am representing the Golden Circle movement, which is a circle of all lightworker movements, not just the practice of Johrei, but Reiki and reconnective healing, many other, all the modalities that spread light and positivity. We're all part of building paradise on earth. So we're going to close our live today with a few moments of light. We're going to send light not only to Masaaki-sama, but to Kyoshu-sama, and to all the members of all the different organizations that practice Johrei, that practice and follow the teachings of Meishu-sama. So, why not have vision, mission, goals, organization, struggle? Yes, if only that were so. But as Meishu Sama would say, it is because the time has not yet come where these things will happen. So as it is right now, we must individually grow, enrich ourselves, grow to a point where our aggregate light will shift this entire planet into paradise on earth. So let's relax for a few moments. Consider those within your family, your friends, your ancestors, those who you would like to receive Meishu Sama's light and blessings of health, peace, and prosperity. Thank you, Yuki. I appreciate your participation. And now I will offer a few moments of Johrei. In the practice of Johrei, thank you. I inhale, drawing light through the crown, through my body to the heart energy center, where it releases up my arm to my hand. But in this case, I'm also using my third eye. For those who are receiving at a later time, who are at a great distance from where I am, who are maybe not even paying attention to what is happening at this moment, but sending light to you, all those who came before you, your ancestors, those within your circles of influence, your spheres of influence, your friends, your family, your loved ones, even those whom you may have enmity with, even those who you have yet to meet. May this light bless each of you with health, peace, and prosperity, abundant wealth, abundant happiness and joy. Thank you so much for your participation today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much for your participation. Make sure you share this video on the replay. If you're interested in your own focal point, go to my site, goldencirclemovement.com. Use the code GOLD20 for 20% off anything you buy on the site. Make sure you hit us up on TikTok and all the other sites that we participate in. Thank you so much. Namaste.